Hello, beautiful people. You know how the brothers be prepping for a match, clearing out the garbage, doing everything they need to do, going early to the gym because they got to meet up that time to watch their football match. You know how the sisters be going to the salon, getting a manicure, doing their hair for that one event. Do you know why? Priority. Priority. When something matters a lot to you, you will do everything that you can to make sure that thing happens or you get that thing done. Okay, so I do not know how you can have 24 hours in a day and still say you do not have time. You don't have time, time to eat, time to exercise. Come on now. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the cost of weight loss. This is Chit Chat with the African in Ecuador. My name is Dr. Splendor. Before we start, welcome and welcome back to those of you who have been following the series from the month of September. And for those of you who have been following the series, why have you not subscribed? Why do you not click on the like button? So do that right now. Please click, subscribe, make yourself a part of the family, like the video. If you're here so far, at least if you're admiring my smile, my beautiful face, click on the like button, okay? Thank you. Today we're looking at how much time you need to invest in your meal preparation on your way to weight loss. For a lot of people, it is the time factor to cook meals that are healthy, that align with their weight loss goals that they do not have simply because they do not know how to manage their time. Today, I'm going to share a few of the tips that I have garnered along the way that have helped me to sustain my weight loss journey. So the first thing is to have a plan. Like many people know the saying, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. For me, I make a plan every night. What am I going to be the next day? Because I work from home, so I've got time on my hands. I plan out what I'm going to eat for lunch, for breakfast, for supper. I do that for my house. And then I also prepare the exercises that I will be doing for the next day. And next week, I'm going to show you also how to save time, how to create time to exercise. Now, number one will be to shop your pantry first. Remember that we're trying to save time. So if you have a kitchen pantry, you have foodstuffs that you've already saved, go to your fridge, go to your pantry rather, and see what it is you have. Take stock. That way you'll be able to make recipes without having to spend the time of going to shop. Okay, so you can walk around whatever groceries you have in your pantries, like your canned foods, like your non-perishable foods, and so on. And then the next place you want to go to look for food will be your fridge. A lot of us eat and we do have leftovers. I know in many cultures they throw away their leftovers. Where we come from, we keep with whatever it is, whether it's from the table or it was from the pot. We always say leftovers are very great ideas because that food is partially already cooked. All you have to do is to reheat it, adding other ingredients that will make it rich and make you fuller. So for example, if there's leftover rice and you have leftover grilled chicken, you could shred that chicken, chop up vegetables, fresh vegetables, and have a stir fry that you could pack for work. This works for students, works for workers. In my childhood, some of us used to have that in our lunch boxes, and it saves time and saves money. The next tip I have for you is to cook in batches. Okay, like I said at the beginning, my weekly plan for the family is to cook for the week. So I cook twice or thrice a week, depending on the quantity of what I cook. That way, we always have something staple, and then I just make reheat them, or I make salads to accompany the food for every day while that particular food item lasts. What can you cook in batches, like your stews? You could boil your carbs, say rice, quinoa, yams, potatoes. You could boil them and have them in batches in the fridge, and then just have to heat it up or make something. If you're an African, you can make your what they call swan or something on the side. Also, what you could do in batches will be your protein. So grilled meats, you can grill your meat, or you can also boil them with seasoning and keep them. Or another thing that I like to do is to marinate them and freeze them. That way, when you need to have something grilled, if you like to eat fresh from the stove, you just defrost it and put it in the oven for it to cook. Two things that you need in the kitchen that help you save time are your slow cooker and your pressure cooker. I like the slow cooker because if you work outside of home, you can just throw everything into the pot and leave. Many recipes for your slow cookers go from 4 to 6 or even 8 hours depending on how soft you want to cook it. You can bake in a slow cooker, I do that. You can grill, but mostly they're very nice for animal plant sourced proteins like your beans and your legumes, okay? That way, after cooking from the slow cooker, you can easily pack them up in containers and saving them up in portions. Now, when you actually have a lot of things that are lacking in the house and you need to go shopping, the first tip I have for you is for you to never go shopping when you're hungry. I saw that a lot where I formerly lived. Christmas family did their shopping on Saturdays. People would go to the shops and fill up the cart, especially end of the month shopping, and then end up in a fast food joint. Mainly because there is money. We've just been paid, so we don't usually do a shopping list. Therefore, we take a lot of time in the shops or the supermarkets, and by the time we're done going around almost every aisle, we end up being hungry. So when you want to go shopping, make sure that you have a snack, make sure that you're calm. Always arm yourself with a shopping list and stick by a shopping list. If you have a shopping list, you are less likely to pick up things that you do not need, and you will not be taking a lot of time in the supermarket or wherever it is that you shop. Just be an in and out kind of an affair. All right. So when you go shopping again, it is advisable to buy non-perishable foods in bulk. You could do that on days where in the bulk purchase aisles where they sell grains such as pasta, quinoa, rice, legumes, especially in big quantities. Those do not perish. You can buy them in bulk. In larger quantities, you can buy your fruits, dried nuts that you can use along the way to snack during the day. You can buy your tinned foods in big quantities. That way, you know that you don't have to go out a lot. Then for your perishable food like greens and peppers and fruits, those are what maybe you would be buying maybe once or twice in the week. Okay, that is my tip for shopping. Another tip is for you to employ the services of a friend or a family member that could help you do the shopping, giving them your list for them to shop for you. That way, when you come back from work, you have the time to just start preparing your meal. Or if you do not have those services, you could also take your break time to go shopping in nearby um, supermarket. I remember when we were kids, my mom used to employ the services of their cleaner in the office. So the cleaner would usually go and shop for her and then keep it in the office fridge, and then or she would shop just before closing time for my mom, and then my mom would just take those groceries and come back home. So don't feel too proud to ask for help. You know, the people who could help you around the office, take advantage of that. Be kind, ask for help. You could also ask people for help if you're not very good at cooking. Ask friends for recipes. Ask friends to come to your house and teach you how to make a simple meal. And if you don't have friends that you trust to come to your house or trusted friends are far, there is always Uncle or Brother Google. There is always the internet. There is YouTube. There are lots of websites. There are a lot of channels that offer recipes that are easy to make. And most of them do not take more than 10 minutes if you have the items already in the house. Okay? The next tip that I will give you would be to always have herbs in the house. Herbs not only enrich the foods that we want to eat, but they are also a great storehouse of nutrients that helps the body in so many ways. For example, your curry, your curcuma, garlic powder, onion powder, those things and other spices, other herbs help us fight inflammation, they help reduce damaged cells, which you will be having if you're going to incorporate exercise into your weight loss journey. And so you should always have that. They always are very, very handy, especially when it comes to making salad. That is one of the things that I love about Ecuador. Our salads here are very, very simple. You can just chop a tomato, half an onion, and if you have green peppers or half a cabbage, and those three will not take you up to 50 cents. Yeah, just chop that up, and then with a dash with just one lemon, a finger of garlic or garlic powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onions, you have a salad ready. You could also season that if you boil your lentils, you could have how do you call these things? Like a bean salad where you mix in your different canned beans which are already cooked, you drain them, rinse them, and then you put in herbs. It enriches the flavor, and then you have it. Food doesn't have to be boring. So always have your herbs and spices on hand. And fortunately these days you don't have to buy big container like you as if you are running a restaurant. You could buy little containers until you gradually invest in bigger ones if your pantry or storage area in the kitchen allows for that. Now, when you have bought all these things, one thing I have personally discovered is that most of us don't organize our kitchens, especially our freezers. They are disorganized and we just buy and throw it to the freezer. If you are going to economize and save time, you need to rearrange your kitchen. Your kitchen should be somewhere a friend can come in and help you make a simple meal if you were in need of that assistance. Say, for example, you are sick, but sometimes even our own selves, we cannot even find our way around our kitchen. We don't know where the spice is. We don't know what it is that we have. Each time after you come back from shopping, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to arrange your groceries in order. Open up your fridge or your freezer, arrange your proteins in order. So by that I mean if you're buying your meat prepackaged, even if it's not prepackaged like it is the case for many others, organize them and categorize them. If it's beef, you could put meat, you could put your minced beef one packet, you could put the beef fillets or chops one packet, and then you put the chops in another packet. I have a drawer for every protein item. If it's not too big, you can arrange them in rows. So you have a row or a drawer for chicken, you have a row and a drawer for turkey, a row and a drawer for beef, a row and a drawer for pork, and so on and so forth for fish, seafood. You have a drawer and a row depending on the size of your fridge or freezer rather. The same thing in your fridge. You need to have a place for your vegetables, and that should actually go without it said because these days most fridges actually have little pictures where everything needs to be stored. It's just that many of us are just that we just throw them into the fridge and we don't organize. If you open your fridge and you can easily see what you have there, it's very easy to think of a quick meal plan and start collecting out your items from the fridge to cook. Then the next point that I want to make is your containers. For many of us who are starting small, we may not have had the time to go shopping for containers. You can start with plastic containers, but I would advise if all you have in the house are like your Tupperware or other plastic containers, then by all means transfer the portion of food you want to eat onto a plate before microwaving them. It is not advisable to put plastic containers in the microwave because of the health hazard it poses to us in the long term. If you watched the first part of the series in the month of September, you will know what I'm talking about. Next, you would want to start investing in glass containers and bigger containers if you're going to cook in batches, and smaller containers if you're going to be making daily batches. So I've seen a lot of people do that in on YouTube. I'm going to insert some clips where people stack up their foods every day for everyday use, like 7 days lunch, so 7 boxes, 7 days supper, so 7 boxes for supper. After that, you would want to have a very portable lunch basket or lunch box rather. The lunch box will be just for you to be able to carry every cup of food, a portion for your protein, another one for your vegetables, another one for your snacks, something that can also keep your food warm. There are so many options on Amazon for those. I think so I just put up quite a few of them. Those are the few things I wanted to say about time investment. So having said all that, I think the biggest or the last or not the least I would add is start small. If all I've said sounds overwhelming, just take baby steps. Use what you have in the house. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Start with what you have in the house. From your fridge to your pantries to your leftovers, asking for advice, making meals saves time. And do not run out. By the time you can figure out meals with what you have in the house. Sometimes your leftovers may even give you a meal for, say, 2 or 3 lunches, and that's what you have in the pantry if you do grocery shopping. And if you do not, if you're not the type that has been eating at home and you want to start cooking by yourself for yourself, then take it step by step. Start with buying just vegetables. Incorporate more vegetables, incorporate more fruits, wash them, wrap them, and make sure that they are ready for you to consume when you get hungry. What I mean, wash your fruits, clean your vegetables, store them well, chop them if they can be chopped, and store them well in your fridge. So we made it to the end of the video. Every Changing life takes time. That is why I titled it The Investment of Time. Is a cost, it's a price you have to pay. You don't have to get everything right the first week or even the first month, but just keep trying, and you'll succeed at last. You can get it if you really want it. You can get it if you really want, but you must try. Try and try. You will succeed at last. So if you made it to the end of the video, it means you liked it or you loved the sound of my voice. So please do subscribe, click on the notification bell, and more than anything, give this video a like, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye. Thank you.